You are not here by accident. You clicked on this because somewhere deep inside you know something is wrong. You have the intelligence, you have the ideas, you understand things others cannot grasp. And yet your bank account tells a different story, doesn't it? Pay attention. I am not here to waste your time with surface solutions or motivational platitudes. What I am about to tell you will disturb you. It will make you uncomfortable. If this hurts, it is because you are finally hearing the truth you have been running from your entire life. You think your problem is money. You think your problem is opportunity, or timing, or the economy, or your circumstances. But I am here to tell you something that will shake you to your core. What blocks you is not the world, it is you. Your intelligence? It is both your greatest gift and your most dangerous weapon. And right now, it is pointed directly at yourself. You are using it to sabotage everything you touch, every opportunity, every chance, every moment of potential breakthrough. Stop running from yourself. The chase is over. Today, we face the shadow. You are not lazy, you are split. Let me begin where most refuse to look. Inside the fractured architecture of your own psyche, you see yourself as one person, one mind, one will. This is the greatest lie you have ever told yourself. You are not one, you are many, and these parts of you are at war. There is the conscious you, the one listening to these words right now, the one who wants wealth, freedom, success, impact. This part makes plans, sets goals, buys courses, makes declarations. This year will be different. This time I will follow through. But beneath that conscious self, in the dark waters of your unconscious mind, there lives another you, a shadow you. And this shadow wants something completely different. This is not metaphor. This is not poetry. This is psychological reality, documented and verified through decades of analytical work. Your shadow holds everything you have rejected about yourself, every quality you deemed unacceptable, every desire you labeled as shameful, every ambition you learned to hide. It is the repository of your disowned self. And here is what you must understand. Your shadow does not disappear when you ignore it. It grows stronger. It takes control. It operates your life from behind the curtain while you believe you are in charge. When you procrastinate, that is your shadow. When you sabotage opportunities, that is your shadow. When you choose comfort over growth, safety over risk, distraction over discipline, that is your shadow running the show while your conscious mind watches in horror, unable to understand why you keep betraying yourself. Now, let me tell you why your intelligence makes this worse, not better. Smart people do not stay broke because they lack knowledge. They stay broke because they use their intelligence to build magnificent prisons for themselves. You think your way out of action. You analyze until the moment passes. You see every angle, every risk, every potential failure. Your brilliant mind becomes the very tool that keeps you paralyzed. But here is the deeper truth, the one that will sting. You are not analyzing because you are intelligent. You are analyzing because you are afraid. Your shadow knows this. Your shadow holds all the fear you refuse to consciously acknowledge. The fear of being seen, the fear of being judged, the fear of success. Yes, you heard that correctly, the fear of success. Because success means change. Success means stepping into a new identity. Success means killing the version of yourself you have known your entire life. And your unconscious mind will fight to the death to prevent that murder. So it uses your intelligence against you. It whispers sophisticated rationalizations. The market is saturated. The timing is not right. You need more preparation. You need more knowledge. You need more certainty. And you, brilliant as you are, believe these lies because they sound so reasonable, so intelligent, so well thought out. You do not recognize them as the desperate screams of a terrified shadow trying to keep you small and safe. Now we go deeper. Stay with me. You look at the world and see obstacles everywhere. You see corrupt systems, unfair advantages, lucky people who do not deserve what they have, opportunities that went to others instead of you. What you are seeing is real, but it is not the whole truth. What you are seeing is also projection. Projection is the unconscious mechanism by which you see in the external world what you refuse to see in yourself. When you see greedy people and feel disgusted, you are projecting your own disowned greed. When you see arrogant, successful people and feel resentful, you are projecting your own disowned ambition. When you see people taking up space and feel critical, you are projecting your own disowned desire to be seen. This is not theory. This is observable, psychological fact. Whatever you judge most harshly in others is precisely what you have banished to your shadow. And here is why this keeps you broke. As long as you project your power onto others, you cannot claim it for yourself. As long as wealth looks greedy to you, you will unconsciously sabotage your own wealth. As long as visibility looks arrogant to you, you will unconsciously hide. As long as success looks corrupt to you, you will unconsciously ensure your own failure. Your projections are not protecting you. They are imprisoning you. The resistance you cannot see. Let me now speak about resistance, because this is where the battle is truly being lost. Your unconscious mind resists change with a force you cannot imagine until you directly confront it. Every time you set a goal that threatens your current identity, your unconscious activates its defense mechanisms. It floods you with doubt. It triggers old wounds. It manufactures emergencies. It makes you sick. It makes you tired. It makes you suddenly fascinated by anything except the thing that matters. And because you are intelligent, your resistance is sophisticated. It does not look like resistance. It looks like wisdom. It looks like prudence. It looks like being realistic. I am just being practical. I am just being careful. I am just waiting for the right moment. These are the weapons your resistance uses to keep you exactly where you are. But beneath these rational-sounding excuses is something primal and terrified. The part of you that equates change with death. And it is not entirely wrong. Psychological transformation is a death. It is the death of who you have been, the death of familiar suffering, the death of the identity you built to survive. Your unconscious does not distinguish between physical death and ego death. Both trigger the same survival mechanisms. Both activate the same primal terror. So you stay broke not because you cannot make money, but because making money would require you to die and be reborn as someone new. And your unconscious will choose familiar poverty over unfamiliar transformation every single time unless you intervene consciously. If this hurts, it is because you are finally hearing the truth. What you inherited, that you never questioned. Now we must speak about something most people never examine, the unconscious beliefs about money that you absorbed before you could think for yourself. You did not come into this world with your beliefs about wealth. You inherited them from your parents, from your culture, from your early experiences. And most of these beliefs now operate completely outside your conscious awareness. This is what I call the personal unconscious, the repository of everything you learned and then forgot you learned. Before you were 7 years old, you made conclusions about money. You watched how your parents spoke about it, fought about it, feared it, worshipped it, or rejected it. And you internalized all of it. If your parents said, "Money does not grow on trees," you learned scarcity. If they said, "Rich people are greedy," you learned that wealth equals moral corruption. If they fought about money, you learned that money equals conflict and pain. If they never spoke about it, you learned that money is shameful and should be hidden. These conclusions became part of your unconscious programming. They now run your financial life like invisible software, making decisions for you, sabotaging you, all while you remain completely unaware. And here is what makes this truly dangerous. Your conscious mind can want wealth, while your unconscious mind is programmed to reject it. This creates internal war, and in that war, the unconscious always wins. You can read every book on wealth. You can learn every strategy. But if your unconscious believes that good people struggle, or money corrupts, or I do not deserve abundance, then you will find a way to stay broke no matter what you know. This is not weakness. This is psychological law. The unconscious is more powerful than the conscious mind. What you do not make conscious will control your life, and you will call it fate. Now I must tell you about something that will sound strange to you. You do not only repress your negative qualities, you also repress your positive ones. This is what I call the golden shadow, the repository of your disowned power, your hidden talents, your unrealized potential. Perhaps when you were young, you showed your gifts and someone shamed you. Perhaps you were told you were too much, or showing off, or who do you think you are, and you learned to make yourself small. Or perhaps you saw someone else embody the greatness you felt inside, and instead of recognizing it as a mirror of your own potential, you made them special and yourself ordinary. You put them on a pedestal and yourself in the dirt. This is also projection. But this time, you are projecting your own gold onto others and living as if you were made of lead. When you admire someone's confidence, that confidence exists in you. When you admire someone's wealth-building ability, that ability exists in you. When you admire someone's courage, that courage exists in you. But you cannot access these qualities because you have disowned them. You have placed them outside yourself. You have made them other people's qualities instead of your own. And so you stay broke, not because you lack the capacity for wealth, but because you have projected that capacity onto others and convinced yourself it does not belong to you. Your golden shadow is your unrealized fortune. It is the wealth-building capacity you refuse to claim. It is the courage you pretend you do not have. It is the vision you call unrealistic. It is every quality you need to build wealth that you have exiled from your identity. Let me now speak about the mask you wear, what I call the persona. The persona is the social face you present to the world. It is how you want to be. It is the carefully constructed image you have built to be acceptable, lovable, safe. For many intelligent people, the persona is built around being above material concerns. You pride yourself on being intellectual, spiritual, artistic, philosophical, anything but concerned with something as base as money. This persona makes you feel superior. It protects you from the shame of not having money by reframing poverty as virtue. I am not broke, I am just not materialistic. I care about deeper things. But beneath this persona, in your shadow, is the truth. You want money. You want comfort. You want security. You want freedom. You want the power that wealth provides. You want to not worry, but you cannot admit this because it would shatter your persona. It would reveal that you are not above material concerns, you are struggling with them and losing. So you maintain the persona and exile the truth to your shadow. And from the shadow, your disowned desire for wealth becomes twisted. It becomes envy. It becomes resentment. It becomes bitter judgment of those who have what you secretly want. This is the price of the persona. You get to feel righteous, but you stay broke. Your persona is not your friend. It is your prison guard. It keeps you acceptable and keeps you small. Now I must tell you something that will be difficult to hear. Stay with me. Breathe. You have an unconscious attachment to struggle. This sounds impossible, I know. Your conscious mind hates struggle, but your unconscious mind has made struggle part of your identity. Perhaps struggle was how you received attention as a child. Perhaps struggle was how you proved you were good, worthy, trying hard enough. Perhaps struggle was the language of love in your family. Or perhaps struggle became the story that explains your life. I am someone who struggles. I am someone who overcomes. I am someone who fights. This story gives you identity, meaning, purpose. And now, unconsciously, you need struggle to feel like yourself. Success would take that identity away. Success would mean you no longer have a story. You no longer have an excuse. You no longer have the comfortable, familiar pain that has defined you. So you sabotage yourself, not consciously, never consciously, but effectively nonetheless. You create crisis. You choose the hard path when an easy one exists. You reject help. You refuse support. You make everything harder than it needs to be. And you call this integrity or doing it the right way or earning it honestly. But really, it is your unconscious ensuring you remain in the struggle that feels like home. This is the most painful truth. Some part of you is choosing poverty because poverty is familiar, and the unconscious mind always chooses the familiar over the unknown, even when the familiar is suffering. Now we arrive at the solution. But I warn you, the solution is not what you want it to be. It is not a strategy. It is not a technique. It is a complete psychological transformation. What I call individuation is the process of becoming who you actually are, rather than who you think you should be or who others need you to be. It is the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. It is the reclaiming of the shadow. It is the death of the false self and the birth of the true self. This is the only real solution to your money problem, because your money problem is not really about money. It is about the fact that you are living as a fraction of yourself, and a fraction cannot create wealth. Wealth requires wholeness. Wealth requires that you have access to all your parts, the parts you like and the parts you hate, the parts you show and the parts you hide, the parts that seem spiritual and the parts that seem base. A divided psyche cannot build wealth because half of you wants it and half of you sabotages it. You are at war with yourself, and in that war, everyone loses. Individuation means ending that war. It means bringing the unconscious into consciousness. It means seeing yourself clearly, completely, without the comforting lies and without the crushing judgments. It means looking at your shadow and saying, this is also me. This greed is me. This ambition is me. This desire for power is me. This fear is me. This laziness is me. All of it is me. And it means looking at your golden shadow and saying, this brilliance is me. This courage is me. This capacity is me. This potential is me. I am allowed to be this. I am allowed to claim this. This integration, this brutal, beautiful honesty with yourself, this is what creates the psychological foundation for wealth. Listen carefully. I will say this only once. You cannot skip this step. You must confront your shadow. You must look at what you have been running from. You must face what you have exiled. This is not comfortable. This is not pleasant. This is psychological surgery without anesthesia. But it is absolutely necessary. Your shadow holds your greed. Look at it. Your shadow holds your envy. Feel it. Your shadow holds your rage at being passed over, overlooked, unrewarded for your intelligence. Acknowledge it. Your shadow holds your desire to dominate, to win, to crush your competition, to take what you want, own it. These are not pleasant things to admit. Your persona recoils. I am not like that. I am better than that. But you are not. You are human, and these drives exist in you whether you admit them or not. The question is not whether you have these qualities. The question is whether you will consciously integrate them or whether they will unconsciously control you. When you consciously acknowledge your greed, it stops controlling you. You can channel it. You can use it as fuel. You can transform it into healthy ambition and drive. But when you deny your greed and push it into shadow, it operates in the dark. It makes you bitter. It makes you resentful. It makes you sabotage yourself and others. It keeps you broke while making you feel morally superior for being broke. The shadow work is simple but not easy. You must write down every quality you hate in others, every quality you judge, every quality that disgusts you. And then you must ask yourself, where does this exist in me? When have I been this? In what subtle ways do I express this quality while pretending I do not? This is excruciating. Your ego will fight it. Your ego wants to remain innocent, clean, good. But your ego is also what keeps you powerless. True power comes from integration, not from purity. True power comes from owning all of yourself, not from performing an acceptable version of yourself. Now we come to perhaps the most practical part of this entire process, withdrawing your projections. Every time you see a quality in someone else and have an emotional reaction, positive or negative, you are seeing a projection. The person is real. The quality might be real. But the intensity of your reaction tells you that you are seeing something of yourself reflected back. When you see someone wealthy and you feel resentment, that resentment is showing you your disowned desire for wealth. When you see someone confident and you feel intimidation, that intimidation is showing you your disowned confidence. The work is to consciously withdraw these projections, to pull back your power from out there and reclaim it in here. This is how you do it. When you notice yourself judging someone for being greedy, stop, pause, ask yourself, how am I greedy? Where do I want more than I have? Where do I desire what is not mine? Be honest. Be ruthless in your honesty. Find it. When you find it, when you admit it, something shifts. The charge dissipates. The person out there becomes less significant. The quality returns to you. And now you can work with it. Now you can integrate it. Now you can use it. The same process works with your golden shadow. When you admire someone's success with unusual intensity, that is a projection of your own potential. Stop making them special. Stop making yourself incapable. Recognize, if you can see it, it exists in you. They are not magical. They simply integrated a quality that you have kept in shadow. They claimed a capacity that you have denied. What they have done, you can do. But only if you stop projecting your power onto them and start claiming it for yourself. This is not arrogance. This is psychological maturity. This is individuation. Now we must dissolve the agreements you made with poverty. These agreements were made in your unconscious mind, so they must be dissolved in your unconscious mind. You must bring them into the light. You must make them conscious. And then you must choose differently. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what did I learn about money before I was old enough to question it? Wait for the answers. They will come. Memories, images, phrases, feelings. Money does not grow on trees. We cannot afford that. Rich people are greedy. Money is the root of all evil. Good people do not care about money. You have to work hard for money. There is never enough. Write them all down. Every belief, every phrase, every conclusion you made. Now look at them as an adult. Look at them with your full intelligence. Are they true? Are they serving you? Do you want to keep them? Most likely, you will see that they are not your beliefs. They were never your beliefs. They were inherited, absorbed, conditioned into you. And now you get to choose, consciously, deliberately. As an individuated adult, you get to say, I reject this belief. I dissolve this agreement. I release this programming. It is not mine. It never was mine. And I will not carry it anymore. And then, and this is crucial, you must replace it with a new, consciously chosen belief. Not a false affirmation. Not positive thinking nonsense. A real, embodied truth that you can actually believe. Perhaps, I am capable of building wealth in alignment with my values. Or, money is a tool I can use for good. Or, I deserve to be compensated for my gifts. Whatever resonates with truth in your body, whatever you can actually stand behind. This is not one session. This is ongoing work. The unconscious is deep and layered. New beliefs will surface. New contracts will reveal themselves. You must be committed to bringing them into consciousness and choosing differently. Now we arrive at the most difficult part, the part most people refuse to do. The part that determines whether you actually transform or just understand transformation intellectually. You must let your current identity die. I am not speaking metaphorically. I am speaking about a real psychological death. The death of who you have been, the death of your story, the death of the self-concept that has carried you this far. You have been the smart person who struggles. You have been the talented person who never gets the break. You have been the one with potential who never quite makes. This identity is killing you, but it is also comfortable. It is familiar. It explains your life. It gives you a role, and some part of you is deeply attached to it. Some part of you knows how to be this person. Some part of you is afraid of not being this person anymore. Who will you be if you are not struggling? Who will you be if you are not the underdog? Who will you be if you actually succeed? This is the terror that keeps people broke. Not the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of becoming unrecognizable to yourself. But individuation demands this death. It demands that you release who you have been so you can become who you actually are. This feels like dying because in a very real sense, it is dying. The ego structure that has defined you is dissolving. The identity you have known is being destroyed. And in that dissolution, there is grief, there is fear, there is resistance, there is the primal scream of the psyche trying to maintain its familiar form. You must allow this. You must surrender to it. You must trust the process even when it feels like annihilation, because on the other side of this death is rebirth. On the other side of this dissolution is a new form, a truer form, a whole form. You emerge not as someone trying to be something, but as someone being themselves. Not as someone playing a role, but as someone embodying their truth. And from this place of wholeness, wealth becomes natural, not forced, not chased, natural. Because you are no longer divided. You are no longer sabotaging yourself. You are no longer at war with your own desires and capacities. You are integrated. You are whole. You are yourself. And the self, the true self, is infinitely more powerful than the persona ever was. The daily practice of shadow integration. Now we move from theory to practice, from understanding to embodiment. Shadow work is not something you do once. It is a daily practice, a way of being, a commitment to consciousness. Every single day, you must check in with yourself. You must ask, what am I avoiding? What am I judging? What am I projecting? Keep a shadow journal. This is not optional. This is essential. Every night, write down, who triggered me today? Who did I judge? Who did I envy? Who did I resent? And then ask, what does this show me about myself? What quality am I seeing in them that I refuse to see in me? Be specific. Be honest. Do not perform this work. Actually do it. If you felt envious of someone's success, do not just write, I felt envious. Write, I felt envious because I want what they have, and I am afraid I cannot have it. I am afraid I am not capable. I am afraid I missed my chance. I am angry that they got there and I did not. Feel it. Own it. Let it be real. And then ask, what is this showing me? It is showing me that I have ambition I am not honoring. It is showing me that I have desire I am not pursuing. It is showing me that I am keeping myself small and blaming others for being big. This is the work, every day, without exception. And every day, you will find something. Every day, you will uncover another layer. Every day, you will bring another piece of shadow into light. This is not fast. This is not convenient. But it is the only thing that actually works. When you begin to change, your resistance will intensify. You will suddenly become tired. You will suddenly have doubts. You will suddenly need to reorganize your entire life instead of doing the one thing that matters. This is resistance, and you must recognize it for what it is. Do not fight it. Do not shame yourself for it, but do not obey it either. Instead, dialogue with it, literally, out loud if necessary. Hello, resistance. I see you. I know you are trying to protect me. I know you are afraid. What are you afraid of? Wait for the answer. It will come. Maybe not in words, maybe in feelings, maybe in images, but it will come. Perhaps the answer is, if you succeed, people will expect things from you. Or, if you have money, people will want to take it from you. Or, if you change, you will lose the people you love. These are the fears your resistance is protecting you from. These are real fears. They deserve to be heard, but they do not deserve to control your life. Once you hear the fear, you can address it. You can reassure the fearful part. You can show it evidence that change is possible without catastrophe. I understand you are afraid people will expect things, but I can set boundaries. I can say no. I can succeed and still be myself. This is the work of integration. You do not eliminate the resistant parts. You bring them into conversation. You include them in the process. You help them feel safe enough to allow change. Over time, the resistance softens, not because you crushed it, but because you integrated it. Every day, you must also practice claiming your gold. This is uncomfortable in a different way. The dark shadow makes you feel guilty. The golden shadow makes you feel presumptuous? Who are you to claim greatness? Who are you to call yourself powerful? Who are you to believe you are capable of extraordinary things? These questions are your ego trying to keep you small. The answer is, you are a human being. You contain the full spectrum of human capacity. What is possible for one human is possible for you. Every day, do something that embodies your golden shadow, something that expresses a quality you have been keeping hidden. If you admire bold people, do something bold, not reckless, bold, something that scares you slightly, something that makes you visible. If you admire creative people, create something, not for approval, for expression. Let the creative impulse move through you without judgment. If you admire wealthy people, make a financial decision from abundance rather than scarcity. Invest in yourself, pay for quality, tip generously, act as someone who has enough. These small actions rewire your identity. They prove to your unconscious that you can be these things. They integrate the qualities you have kept in shadow. Over time, they become natural. You are not pretending anymore. You are not performing. You are embodying. You have reclaimed your gold. Here is what most people do not understand. You cannot build sustainable wealth from a place of compensation. If you are trying to get rich to prove something, you will sabotage yourself. If you are trying to get rich to heal your shame, you will sabotage yourself. If you are trying to get rich to finally feel worthy, you will sabotage yourself, because the unconscious knows that external things cannot heal internal wounds. The unconscious knows that wealth will not make you feel worthy if you do not feel worthy now. So it protects you from the disappointment by preventing you from getting wealthy in the first place. This is why lottery winners often lose everything. This is why people who get sudden wealth often destroy it. Their external reality changed, but their internal reality did not. The unconscious brought them back to the level of wealth that matches their identity. The only sustainable wealth comes from integration, from wholeness, from building from the inside out. When you have done the shadow work, when you have withdrawn your projections, when you have reclaimed your power, when you have integrated your unconscious, then wealth becomes a natural expression of who you are. You are not chasing it to fix yourself. You are creating it because you are whole, and whole people create value. You are not desperate for it. You are not attached to it. You are not afraid of it. You have a healthy, integrated relationship with it. And from this place, wealth flows, not because you found the right strategy, but because you became the right person. Finally, you must practice making conscious choices instead of unconscious reactions. Most of your financial decisions are unconscious. They are driven by fear, by shame, by old programming, by shadow dynamics you do not see. You must interrupt this pattern. Before every financial decision, every purchase, every investment, every pricing decision, every negotiation pause, ask yourself, am I making this choice from my conscious self or my unconscious self? Am I making this choice from wholeness or from wound? Am I making this choice from power or from fear? If you are about to underprice your services, ask, is this fair value or am I operating from unworthiness? If you are about to make an impulsive purchase, ask, am I buying this because I need it or because I am trying to fill an emotional void? If you are about to reject an opportunity, ask, am I saying no because it is wrong for me or because I am afraid of success? This conscious pause changes everything. It brings your unconscious patterns into the light where you can see them and choose differently. Over time, this becomes automatic. You develop what I call the observing ego, the part of you that can watch yourself without judgment and make conscious corrections. This is the hallmark of individuation. You are no longer controlled by unconscious forces. You see them, you work with them, you choose consciously. And from this place of consciousness, you build a life and a financial reality that actually reflects who you are, not who you were conditioned to be. Why traditional money advice fails you. Let me now tell you why everything else you have tried has not worked. You have read the books, you have taken the courses, you have learned the strategies. You know about investing, budgeting, side hustles, passive income, all of it. and yet you are still here, still stuck, still broke. This is not because the strategies do not work. This is because you cannot execute strategies that contradict your unconscious programming. You can know intellectually that you should charge more for your services, but if your unconscious believes you are not worthy of money, you will find a way to keep your prices low. You can know intellectually that you should invest, but if your unconscious is terrified of loss, you will keep your money in a savings account earning nothing. You can know intellectually that you should take risks, but if your unconscious equates risk with danger and safety with love, you will choose safety every time. This is why traditional money advice fails smart people, because smart people learn the information easily, but information does not change the unconscious. Only psychological work changes the unconscious. Only shadow work, only integration, only individuation. This is the work no one wants to do because it is hard and it is uncomfortable and it does not promise quick results, but it is the only work that actually creates lasting transformation. The moment of choice. Will you do the work? So now you face a choice. You can close this video and go back to the way things were. You can go back to blaming circumstances, blaming the economy, blaming your lack of opportunities. You can go back to your comfortable, familiar suffering, or you can choose the path of individuation, the path of shadow work, the path of integration, the path of becoming whole. I will not lie to you. This path is difficult. It requires you to face parts of yourself you have spent your entire life avoiding. It requires you to feel things you do not want to feel. It requires you to admit things you do not want to admit. It requires you to die and be reborn. But on the other side of that death is a life you cannot imagine from where you stand now. A life where you are not at war with yourself. A life where your intelligence serves you instead of sabotaging you. A life where wealth flows naturally because you are whole. A life where you are finally, truly yourself. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Not willing to think about it, not willing to understand it. Willing to actually do it. Because understanding will not save you. Knowledge will not save you. Only transformation will save you. Let me warn you now, when you commit to this path, your unconscious will test you. It will create obstacles. It will manufacture crises. It will give you every reason to quit. Old patterns will intensify before they dissolve. Old wounds will surface. Old fears will scream. This is not failure. This is the process. This is the unconscious bringing everything to the surface so it can be integrated. You must expect this. You must prepare for this. You must not interpret this as evidence that the work is not working. The work is working. The resistance is proof that something real is happening. When you commit to changing your relationship with money, every unconscious belief about money will come forward to be examined. Every fear, every shame, every hidden contract. This is good. This is necessary. This is the work. Do not run from it. Face it, feel it, integrate it. And know this, you are stronger than your unconscious patterns. You are more powerful than your resistance. You are capable of transformation that will astonish you. But you must commit, fully, completely, without reservation. One more thing you must understand. Integration is not perfection. You will not reach a point where you have no shadow. You will not reach a point where you never project. You will not reach a point where you are done. Individuation is a lifelong process. The unconscious is deep. There are always more layers, always more to integrate, always more to discover. This is not discouraging. This is liberating. You do not have to be perfect to build wealth. You do not have to have everything figured out. You do not have to eliminate all your wounds. You just have to be more conscious today than you were yesterday. You just have to integrate a little more. You just have to reclaim a little more of your power. Progress, not perfection. Consciousness, not control. Integration, not elimination. This is the path, and it works. Exercise. 1. The shadow inventory. Now we move into practice. Real practice, not reading, doing. Get a journal, write now, not later, now. Write down the heading. People I judge. Now list every person you judge. Every person who irritates you, annoys you, angers you, disgusts you. Write their names or describe them. Next to each name, write what specifically you judge them for. Be honest, be brutal. No one will see this but you. John, I judge him for being arrogant and showing off his wealth. Sarah, I judge her for being manipulative to get what she wants. That influencer, I judge them for being shallow and materialistic. Now, next to each judgment, write, "This shows me that I," and complete the sentence honestly. I judge John for showing off his wealth. This shows me that I want to show off, but I am afraid of being judged. This shows me that I want wealth, but I have made it wrong. This shows me that I am jealous. I judge Sarah for being manipulative. This shows me that I am manipulative in subtle ways I do not admit. This shows me that I want to influence people, but I have made that wrong. This shows me that I am afraid of my own power. Do this for every person, every judgment. Do not skip any. This is confronting. This is uncomfortable. Good. That discomfort is the shadow being brought into light. Exercise 2. The Golden Shadow Reclamation. Now we work with the gold you have projected. New heading, People I Admire. List every person you admire. Every person who seems to have qualities you wish you had. Next to each name, write what specifically you admire. Marie, I admire her confidence and how she speaks her mind without fear. That entrepreneur, I admire how they built wealth doing what they love. My friend, I admire how generous they are, how they give without keeping score. Now, next to each quality, write, "This quality exists in me as," and find it. Find evidence, even small evidence. Marie's confidence exists in me as the moments when I do speak up, even though I am terrified, as the times I have said no even when it was hard, as the truth I hold inside even when I do not express it. That entrepreneur's wealth building exists in me as my ideas, my creativity, my skills that I have not fully monetized yet, as my capacity to learn, as my drive that I keep suppressing. Do not dismiss your evidence. Do not minimize it. See it, claim it, own it. This quality is not out there. It is in you. It has always been in you. You have just been projecting it onto others instead of embodying it yourself. Exercise 3. The Unconscious Money Script Excavation. This one goes deep. Are you ready? Find a quiet place. Close your eyes. Take several deep breaths. Now ask yourself, what is my earliest memory involving money? Wait. Let it come. Do not force it. Just wait. When the memory comes, write it down in detail. What happened? Who was there? What did you feel? What did you conclude? Then ask, what did this experience teach me? About money? Write down every belief that formed from that experience, every conclusion your young mind made. Now ask, is this belief true? Is this belief serving me? Do I choose to keep this belief? If the answer is no, write, I release this belief. It is not mine. I choose instead to believe. And write a new belief, one that serves you, one that empowers you, one you can actually embody. Do this process with multiple money memories. The more you excavate, the more you will find. This is the work of making the unconscious conscious. Exercise 4, the daily shadow check-in. Every single evening before you sleep, do this. Write down, today I was triggered by, and list everything, every irritation, every judgment, every envy, every resentment. Then for each trigger, write, this trigger is showing me, and complete it honestly. What is this showing you about yourself? What shadow quality is trying to come into consciousness? This daily practice keeps you conscious. It prevents shadow accumulation. It creates ongoing integration. Do not skip days. Do not make excuses. This is non-negotiable if you are serious about transformation. Exercise 5, dialoguing with resistance. When you feel resistance to taking action on your wealth goals, do this. Sit down, get 2 chairs facing each other. Sit in one chair as your conscious self, the self who wants to change, the self who wants wealth. Speak out loud to the empty chair. Say, I know you are resisting. I want to understand why. What are you afraid of? Then move to the other chair. Become the resistance. Let it speak through you. Do not censor it. Let it say whatever it needs to say. The resistance might say, I am afraid you will fail and be humiliated. I am afraid you will succeed and lose yourself. I am afraid people will expect too much. I am afraid you will become someone I do not recognize. Listen to it. Really listen. Do not dismiss these fears. Then move back to the first chair. Respond as your conscious self. Reassure the fearful part. Show it that you understand. Show it that change does not have to mean destruction. Continue this dialogue until you feel a shift, until the resistance softens, until you find a way forward that honors both parts. This is active imagination. This is how you work with the unconscious directly. Exercise 6, the identity death ritual. This is the most intense exercise. Do it only when you are ready. Write down, I am, and complete it with all the identities you have been carrying, all the stories you have been telling about yourself. I am the smart person who struggles. I am the talented person who never gets the break. I am the one who has potential but never achieves it. I am the one who is too sensitive for this harsh world. I am the one who is above material concerns. Write them all, every identity, every story, every role. Now read them out loud. Feel them. Acknowledge them. Thank them for trying to protect you, and then say, I release you. You have served me, but I no longer need you. I am choosing to die to this identity so I can be reborn as my true self. Take the paper. Burn it. Actually burn it. Safely, please. Watch it burn. Feel the death. Feel the grief. Feel the fear. Let yourself cry if you need to. And then write on a new piece of paper, I am becoming. And describe the self you are choosing to become. Not the persona, not the false self, the true self, the integrated self, the whole self. I am becoming someone who honors both intelligence and wealth. I am becoming someone who serves and receives abundantly. I am becoming someone who is fully myself without apology. Keep this paper, read it daily, let it guide your transformation. This ritual marks a turning point, a before and after. Take it seriously. Exercise 7, the Conscious Financial Decision Protocol. From now on, before every financial decision, use this protocol. Pause, breathe, ask yourself these questions. 1. What does my conscious self want to do in this situation? 2. What does my unconscious self want to do in this situation? 3. What fear is driving my unconscious response? 4. What would I do if I were operating from wholeness rather than wound? 5. What choice aligns with who I am becoming rather than who I have been? Answer honestly. Write it down if you need to. Then make your decision from consciousness, not from unconscious pattern. This takes discipline, this takes practice, but it rewires your relationship with money at the deepest level. Now, I must prepare you for what will come when you begin this work. Your ego will panic. It will fight. It will throw everything it has at you to stop this transformation. Because the ego's job is to maintain the status quo, to keep you safe, to keep you the same. And you are threatening that. The ego will tell you this work is too hard. It will tell you that you are fine as you are. It will tell you that change is dangerous. It will manufacture doubt. Maybe this is all nonsense. Maybe I am fine. Maybe I just need a better strategy, not all this psychological stuff. Do not believe it. This is resistance dressed up as reason. The ego will also make you suddenly very busy with urgent things that are not actually important. It will create crises. It will make you sick. It will do anything to pull you away from this work. Recognize these tactics. Name them. This is my ego-resisting transformation. I see you, but I am not stopping, and keep going. The social pressure to stay small. Your people will also resist your transformation, not because they do not love you, because they do. They love the you they know. They are comfortable with the you they know. When you start to change, when you start to integrate your shadow, when you start to claim your power, you become unfamiliar. You become unpredictable. You become threatening to the system. People will try to pull you back. You have changed. Yes, exactly. That is the point. You are not yourself anymore. No, I am finally myself, for the first time. They will criticize, they will mock, they will question, they will make you doubt. Some relationships will not survive your individuation. This is painful. This is real. But it is also necessary. You cannot stay small to make others comfortable. You cannot remain unconscious to maintain relationships built on your unconsciousness. Some people will grow with you. Some will celebrate your transformation. Keep those people close. Some will resist. Some will sabotage. Some will leave. Let them go. Your wholeness is more important than their comfort. The comfort of familiar suffering. This is perhaps the biggest obstacle. You are attached to your suffering. I know this sounds insane. Who would choose suffering? But you do, not consciously, unconsciously. Your suffering is familiar, it is known, it is safe in its own twisted way. You know how to be the person who struggles. You know how to be the person who tries. Hard but does not quite make it. You know how to be the underdog. Change means entering unknown territory. It means being someone you have never been. It means not knowing who you are anymore. And the unconscious fears the unknown more than it fears known suffering. So, when you start to succeed, when you start to transform, when you start to build wealth, a part of you will panic and try to return to the familiar struggle. This is why people self-sabotage right before breakthrough. This is why success feels terrifying. This is why you might find yourself pulling back just when things start working. Your unconscious is trying to bring you back to the identity it knows, the suffering it understands, the story it can predict. You must recognize this impulse when it arises. You must name it. This is my attachment to familiar suffering. I see you, but I am choosing the unknown anyway. And you must keep moving forward into the discomfort of newness, into the terror of success, into the unknown territory of becoming whole. Here is another trap your brilliant mind will use, the endless pursuit of more knowledge. I just need to learn one more thing. I just need one more course. I just need to understand this better. This sounds reasonable. This sounds like growth. But often, it is avoidance dressed up as preparation. You do not need more knowledge. You need more integration. You need more action. You need more courage to apply what you already know. The pursuit of knowledge becomes an excuse to delay transformation. I am not ready yet. I need to learn more first. But you will never feel ready. Transformation does not wait for readiness. Transformation requires you to jump before you feel prepared. Stop learning and start doing. Stop understanding and start embodying. Stop preparing and start becoming. The shadow work is not intellectual. The integration is not theoretical. This is lived experience. This is practice. This is action. Knowledge without application is just sophisticated procrastination. What changes when you integrate? Let me tell you what happens when you actually do this work. When you actually integrate your shadow. When you actually individuate. First, you stop being at war with yourself. The internal conflict dissolves. You are no longer one part wanting and another part sabotaging. This creates an enormous amount of freed energy. Energy that was previously consumed by internal battle is now available for creation, for building, for wealth generation. Second, you stop projecting. You stop seeing your power in others. You stop making others special and yourself ordinary. You reclaim your capacity. This makes you magnetic, not in some mystical law of attraction way, but in a psychological way. Whole people attract opportunities. Integrated people attract resources. People who own their power attract wealth. Third, you stop needing money to prove your worth. You stop chasing wealth to fill an internal void. You build wealth from wholeness, not from wound. This creates sustainability. This creates actual abundance that lasts, because you are not spending money to soothe shame or prove something. You are using money as a tool aligned with your values. Fourth, your decisions become clear. You are no longer paralyzed by unconscious programming. You see the patterns. You make conscious choices. You act from your true self, not from your conditioned self. This creates momentum. Clarity creates action. Action creates results. Results create confidence. Confidence creates more action. The cycle becomes self-reinforcing. When you integrate, your entire relationship with money changes. Money stops being the enemy or the savior. It stops being morally charged. It becomes neutral, a tool, an energy, a resource. You can want money without shame. You can pursue wealth without guilt. You can receive abundance without fear. You can also be generous without resentment. You can spend without anxiety. You can invest without terror. Because money is no longer tangled up with your worth, your identity, your safety, your lovability. It is just money. And you are just you, whole, integrated, clear. This psychological freedom is what creates real wealth, not strategies, not tactics. This, perhaps the most profound shift, you learn to trust yourself. When you were divided, when your conscious and unconscious were at war, you could not trust yourself. You said you would do something and then you did not. You made commitments and then broke them. You set goals and then sabotaged them. This eroded your self-trust. And without self-trust, you cannot build anything lasting. But when you integrate, when you bring the unconscious into consciousness, when you end the internal war, you become reliable to yourself. You say you will do something and you do it. Not because you are disciplined, because you are aligned. Your conscious and unconscious want the same thing. This self-trust is the foundation of wealth, because wealth requires sustained action over time. It requires consistency. It requires follow-through. And you cannot be consistent when you are divided. You can only be consistent when you are whole. Here is something fascinating. When you change internally, the external world shifts to match, not because of magic, because of psychology. When you stop projecting, you see reality more clearly. You see opportunities you were blind to before. You see resources that were always there but invisible to your unconscious filters. When you stop radiating desperation and start radiating wholeness, people respond differently. They trust you more. They want to work with you. They refer you. They invest in you. When you stop making decisions from fear and start making decisions from clarity, better outcomes naturally follow. Not always immediately, but consistently over time. The universe, or more accurately, the web of human relationships and opportunities that we call the universe, responds to your internal state, not your affirmations, not your vision boards, your actual integrated psychological state. This is not mysticism. This is how human psychology interfaces with social reality. One of the most liberating shifts, you stop waiting for permission. Permission to be successful. Permission to be wealthy. Permission to take up space. Permission to be visible. Permission to charge what you are worth. Permission to be ambitious. You realize no one is going to give you permission, and you do not need it. You give yourself permission. You claim your right to be whole, to be powerful, to be wealthy. This is not arrogance. This is integration. This is owning your golden shadow. This is reclaiming the qualities you projected onto others and recognizing they exist in you. You do not need to be anointed. You do not need to be chosen. You choose yourself. And from that self-authorization, everything flows. This is your crossroads. Listen carefully. I will say this only once. You are at a crossroads. You have been at this crossroads your entire life, but now you are conscious of it. One path is the path you have been walking, the path of unconsciousness, the path of projection, the path of familiar suffering, the path of staying broke while telling yourself stories about why it is not your fault. This path is easy in the short term. It requires nothing of you, no change, no discomfort, no confrontation with your shadow. You can stay exactly as you are, but this path leads nowhere. You know this. You have been walking it for years, and it has led you here intelligent, capable, and broke. The other path is the path of individuation, the path of integration, the path of becoming whole, the path of facing your shadow, reclaiming your projections, dying to your old identity, and being reborn as your true self. This path is difficult. It requires everything of you. It requires brutal honesty. It requires facing what you have been running from. It requires psychological death and rebirth. But this path leads to freedom, to wholeness, to power, to wealth that reflects your true capacity. Which path will you choose? I cannot choose for you. No one can. This is your life, your psyche, your journey. But I can tell you this, the pain of staying the same will eventually exceed the pain of transformation. The question is only whether you choose transformation now or wait until life forces it upon you. What is required of you? If you choose the path of integration, here is what is required. Absolute honesty with yourself. No more comfortable lies, no more sophisticated rationalizations, no more pretending you do not see what you see. Brutal, ruthless, compassionate honesty, daily commitment to shadow work. This is not a weekend workshop. This is not a one-time breakthrough. This is daily practice, daily excavation, daily integration, willingness to feel everything, the shame, the fear, the rage, the grief, the terror, all of it. You cannot integrate what you refuse to feel. Courage to die and be reborn. You must be willing to let your old identity dissolve. You must be willing to become someone you have never been. You must be willing to not know who you are for a while. Consistency even when nothing seems to be changing. The unconscious moves slowly. Transformation takes time. You must trust the process even when you see no evidence. Rejection of all excuses. No more blaming circumstances. No more if only. No more waiting for perfect conditions. You must take absolute responsibility for your internal state and your external results. This is not easy. But nothing worth having is easy. And this, your wholeness, your freedom, your authentic wealth, this is worth having. The question you must answer, pay attention. I am not here to waste your time. The question is not, can I do this? You can. The capacity for integration exists in every human being. It existed in you before you were born. It exists in you now. The question is not, do I have what it takes? You do. You have intelligence. You have awareness. You have the ability to make the unconscious conscious. You have everything you need. The question is, will I do this? Will you choose the hard path that leads to freedom over the easy path that leads nowhere? Will you face your shadow or keep running from it? Will you reclaim your projections or keep your power locked outside yourself? Will you die to who you have been so you can become who you actually are? Will you do the work, not think about the work, not understand the work, not plan to do the work someday? Actually do it, starting today, starting now. This is the only question that matters, and only you can answer it. Let me tell you what it costs to stay unconscious, what it costs to refuse integration, what it costs to remain divided. It costs you your potential. Every day you remain divided is a day your gifts remain unexpressed. Your intelligence serves no one. Your creativity dies inside you. Your capacity withers unused. It costs you your time, years, decades, entire lifetimes spent in internal war, in self-sabotage, in struggle that serves no purpose, time you will never get back. It costs you your relationships. People sense inauthenticity. They sense when you are performing a persona rather than being yourself. Unconsciousness creates distance, creates misunderstanding, creates isolation. It costs you your peace. The internal war never ends. The anxiety never stops. The sense that something is wrong, something is missing, something is not working that never goes away until you face it. And it costs you your wealth, not just money, though certainly that, but wealth in every sense, abundance, freedom, impact, contribution, legacy. All of it remains locked behind the door of your unconsciousness. Is this the price you want to keep paying? Now let me tell you what integration offers. It offers you yourself, the real you, not the persona, Not the role, not the performance, the actual, authentic, integrated self that has been buried under layers of conditioning and fear. It offers you power, real power, not dominance over others, power to create, power to choose, power to act from your truth rather than react from your wounds. It offers you freedom, freedom from the past, freedom from unconscious patterns, freedom from the prison of your own making. It offers you relationships based on truth rather than projection, connection that is real because you are real. It offers you work that matters, contribution that flows from your authentic gifts rather than from compensation for your wounds. And yes, it offers you wealth, material wealth, financial abundance, not as compensation, not as proof, but as a natural consequence of wholeness creating value in the world. This is what waits for you on the other side of integration. The question is whether you want it badly enough to do what it takes. You know the truth now. You cannot unknow it. You are smart and broke not, because the world is against you, but because you are against yourself. Your shadow is sabotaging you. Your projections are stealing your power. Your unconscious programming is running your financial life. Your attachment to familiar suffering is keeping you stuck. And the only way out is through the shadow, through the integration, through the death and rebirth. You cannot think your way out of this. You cannot understand your way out of this. You can only transform your way out of this. If this hurts, it is because you are finally hearing the truth. What you will do next. Stop running from yourself. Get a journal. Open it. Begin the shadow work tonight, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Tonight. Write down everything you have been avoiding, every judgment you hold, every projection you make, every unconscious belief about money, every identity you are clinging to. Begin the dialogue with your unconscious. Begin the integration. Begin the transformation. This is not preparation. This is the work itself. There is no magical future moment when it gets easier. There is only now, this moment, this choice. You wanted to know why smart people stay broke and how to fix it. Now you know. The shadow, the projections, the unconscious programming, the resistance, the divided psyche, and the fix is integration, individuation, becoming whole, not a strategy. A transformation. I challenge you now. Prove me wrong. Prove that you are not controlled by your unconscious. Prove that you do not have shadow material sabotaging you. Prove that you are already integrated. The only way to prove it is to do the work and discover what you find. If you are truly integrated, the exercises will be easy. You will look at your shadow and find nothing. You will examine your projections and find none. You will explore your unconscious beliefs and find only clarity. But I suspect you will find something different. I suspect you will find depths you did not know existed, patterns you never saw, wounds you never acknowledged, power you never claimed, and that discovery, that is the beginning of your transformation. You are capable of this. Hear me clearly, you are capable of this work. Your intelligence, which has been your enemy, can become your ally. You can use it to observe yourself, to make the unconscious conscious, to integrate what has been split. Your sensitivity, which has made you vulnerable, is also what makes you capable of deep self-awareness. You can feel the shadow. You can sense the projections. You can recognize the patterns. Your struggle, which has felt like your prison, has also been your teacher. You have learned. You have grown. You have developed the capacity for this transformation through everything you have survived. You are not broken. You are not deficient. You are not damaged beyond repair. You are human. And humans are capable of extraordinary transformation when they choose consciousness over unconsciousness, integration over division, truth over comfortable lies. The moment is now. What blocks you is not the world, it is you. But you can also liberate yourself. Only you can liberate yourself. No one is coming to save you. No strategy will do it for you. No external change will fix the internal division. You must do the work. You must face the shadow. Withdraw the projections. Dissolve the unconscious contracts. Die to the old identity. Be reborn as the integrated self. This is the path, the only path, the path of individuation. And it begins now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when conditions are perfect. Now. You were born with the capacity for wholeness. It is your birthright. It is your inheritance. But like all inheritances, you must claim it. You must take possession. You must do what is necessary to receive what is yours. Your wholeness is waiting. Your power is waiting. Your wealth is waiting. Not out there, in here, in the depths of your own psyche, in the shadow you have not faced, in the projections you have not withdrawn, in the unconscious you have not made conscious. Everything you need is already within you. You just need to bring it into light. This is the secret. This is the truth. This is the way. Go now and do the work. I have given you the map. I have shown you the territory. I have revealed the truth about why you remain broke despite your intelligence. Now you must walk the path. You must enter the shadow. You must do the work. No more excuses. No more delays. No more waiting for the perfect moment. The moment is now. The work is clear. The choice is yours. You can stay divided and broke, or you can become integrated and whole. You can keep projecting your power onto others, or you can reclaim it for yourself. You can remain unconscious and controlled by patterns you do not see, or you can make the unconscious conscious and choose your life deliberately. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is practical psychology for transformation, and it works. Not overnight, not magically, but inevitably, for those who commit to the path. Stop running from yourself, face the shadow, reclaim your projections, dissolve the unconscious programming, die to who you have been, be reborn as who you are. This is individuation, this is integration, this is the path to wholeness and wealth. Your intelligence is not your enemy. Your unconscious is not your enemy. You are not your enemy. The division is the enemy. The unconsciousness is the enemy. The refusal to look, to feel, to integrate, that is the enemy. And you can defeat this enemy, not by fighting it, by integrating it, by becoming whole. Go now, get your journal, begin the work. Do not wait. Your transformation begins with a single question. What am I not willing to see about myself? Ask it. Wait for the answer. And let that answer guide you into the depths where your true wealth, your integrated self, has been waiting all along. The chase is over. The work begins. Your wholeness awaits. What blocks you is not the world. It is you. And that is the best news you could receive, because you can change you. Now go. Do the work. Become whole. Build wealth from integration, not compensation. Live as yourself, not as your persona. This is the way, the only way, the Jungian way. Your awakening begins now.